Hey everyone, welcome back to another lab walkthrough video. This week we are working on sticky liquids. So when we're talking about sticky liquids, we're talking about the intermolecular forces between the different molecules, which makes them, quote, sticky. We're not talking about things sticky like honey is sticky. So you have a paragraph that talks about the difference of adhesion and cohesion, because these are two different forces that you're going to be seeing in action in these different things. So this lab is broken up into three different stations. You're going to be doing all three stations in the lab period. There are three mini experiments. We're going to give you 10 minutes at each station to read through the directions, do it, clean up, and be ready to move on to the next section. So it is super important that you are working in a time efficient manner.
Welcome to station number 1. This is drops on a penny. So before you sit down, you're going to want to go to the teacher's desk and grab a penny. Again, you personally need one, but at your table in groups of 4, you need 4 total. So we have 4 different liquids that we're going to be working with throughout this lab in its entirety. So these 4 liquids doing different things. We got number 1, water. We got number 2, acetone. Number 3, rubbing alcohol. And number 4, oil. So again, pick one liquid and then just be in charge of that one liquid for the rest of the lab. So what we're going to do, let's start with water. We're going to try to get as many drops of whatever liquid you are on top of the penny. So we're going to take the top off. Just double check that the dropper part is fully on. If this falls off, these liquids aren't super dangerous. You'll be okay. Just rinse your hand off. But it will throw off your data. So just make sure that's on securely. And you're going to add drop at a time. As you're adding drops, make sure that you are keeping track of them. So let's change the camera angle here. Okay, so after some rearranging, we have a better camera angle. We're going to add drops to your penny, and it's going to form a kind of big bubble on top. When that bubble breaks, then that is the number of drops you have added. So let's watch this. As you can tell, the giant droplet of water has spilled over, so that represents the end. You should have counted how many drops that you did. Again, do that same for the 4 liquids. When you're done, give your penny a quick dry, and at the teacher station, there is a beaker that says penny bath. Throw the pennies in there. And that's it for the station.
So again, after you did drops on a penny, this is where all of your data should be put in.
So welcome to station 2. This is paper towel race. And what we're going to measure is how fast how far rather the water travels up pieces of paper towel. So again, we're going to use the same for liquids. Again, make sure things are labeled. They're labeled top and bottom of the Petri dish. What you'll notice is that acetone is going to be in a beaker with foil on it. Fun fact, it will dissolve the plastic of the Petri dish. It is also super important all these stay covered, especially the acetone, because it will vaporize and evaporate very, very, very quickly. So what you're going to do is to everybody, because again, there's 4 different liquids, pick one of them, and the other group mates should pick the other ones. Grab a piece of paper towel. So let's show this with water. You're going to open up your Petri dish, and when you're ready, make sure all of your group mates are good to go. You're going to use your stopwatch. So you're going to click it, mode, down here. Okay, so play with it until it says 0, 0, 0. Make sure you can start it. So this button right here says start, stop. And you can do that and then reset it. So play with that a little bit to make sure you're able to do that. We're going to be doing this for 30 seconds. So let's show. You're going to just put the tip of the water, of the paper towel, into the water. just like that, for 30 seconds. So we're just gonna watch it for 30 seconds. Make sure it's just the bottom of the paper towel that is submerged in the water, because the water is going to travel upwards. So I'm gonna watch that time go all the way to 30. Okay, so 30 seconds is up. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is put your paper down on the table, and very quickly, because some of these liquids evaporate very quickly, make a line where that water is. It may continue to travel upwards, but again, we just want it after that 30 seconds. You're gonna make that mark on your paper towel. So if by the time you're ready to measure, if it's the water has evaporated, you still know where it went. Then what you're gonna do is measure from using the centimeter side, you can see that, of our ruler, from the bottom to where that line is. Whatever that distance is, that is what you are going to record. Again, you're doing one paper towel, but everyone in your group is going to be doing a different liquid. Off to the next station.
After paper towel race, again, you're writing down the distance in centimeters the things have traveled.
Okay, welcome to your final station, station 3, can it dissolve? Again, we're working with the 4 liquids, so they should all be labeled test tubes. If at any point in any of the stations, if your label's falling off, just let your teacher know. We can grab more duct tape and label it. Everything should be labeled. Now, again, I'm just gonna show you one of the liquids. You're going to be doing all 4 of them. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go up to the teacher's desk with your test tube and get 2 or 3 pipettefuls of the liquid. So I brought it here just for ease. So the way these work, if you squeeze it, put it inside the water, slowly let go, it sucks up the water. So we add 1 pipette full, add 2, anywhere between 2 or 3 is fine. Kind of want it halfway to 3/4 of the way full. And then go back to your seat. At your seat, you should have this with your salt and the stopwatch. Again, if you need more salt, your teacher has more. What you're going to do, open it up, take the whole salt packet out, pour it in, put the top on it. You want to make sure your thumb or some part of your hand is holding the top in place, and you're going to shake it for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, you're going to look at it and see whether or not the salt dissolved. Now, in this water, it looks like all the salt has. If it doesn't, you'll see it kind of pulled up on the bottom or floating around. Again, you're going to pick one liquid, and other people in your group are going to be in charge of the other 3. Clean up for this part, just open up your test tubes. You're going to dump whatever is inside down the sink. If it needs a quick rinse, that is fine. And then you'll just put the the test tube and the top back there, and that's it.
In station 3, can it dissolve? You are writing whether or not the salt dissolved, yes or no, and then any other observations that you saw. Now, this is the conclusion of part 1 of this lab. It's just the data collection. If you are absent, obviously this video will help collect some of the data, but there is also a supplemental sheet that will be posted with info you can use. Part 2 of this lab is questions based on the data that you collected. Front question talks about intermolecular forces, and you have some pictures. So, super important question, difference between adhesion and cohesion. Question 2, you're looking at what similarities these pictures have in common. Question 3 is based directly on this paragraph. As you flip on to the back, question number 4, although it may sound confusing, it is a prediction. So there's no right or wrong answer as long as you're able to support whatever you are saying. Number 5, again, has a hint. So think to help you figure out what the question is asking. And then the last part, where it can be a little bit tricky, read this paragraph and then fill out this chart. So if the salt dissolved, that means one thing, and you're able to predict what the polarity is. So if you're confused on this, read through this paragraph again. Okay, that will help you with whatever you need. And that's it for that two-part lab. Hope you had fun.